At number 16, I've got the Utah Utes. And to me, this is more of a perception of the program sort of play. I admittedly didn't do much of a deep dive on this team, um, but Utah is very physical up front. I love the way Cam Rising plays. He epitomizes Utah and what I've seen from that program the past decade. He's just a baller. He's coming off ACL tear to face Baylor and Florida in weeks 1 and 2. So they go back to back with a couple of tough matchups. This is a team that's really good on defense. I'm excited to see what they can do on offense and who's going to step up and be the playmakers along with Rising. Um, but overall, I have this team going 9-3. As I look through the schedule, they've got a pretty favorable schedule in coming out of the Pac-12, with two tough non-cons, right? With Florida and Baylor. I'm pretty down on Florida this year. They're not in my top 25. I do think Baylor is pretty good. I'm anxious to see what Dave Aranda does. I think they're a team that could be in and out of the top 25 this year. So I think that those are two tough matchups. And we'll know more about Utah after week 2. They got to go to Oregon State. They got to go to USC, and they've got to face Oregon at home. At Arizona, they could get beat in that game, and then also at Washington. So I think a 9-3 season with that schedule will be pretty successful by their standards, and I'm ready to see what they end up coming up with, and again seeing those playmakers on offense to pair up with Cam Rising. So that's my 20 through 16.
Taking it to number 12, we'll keep it in the Pac-12. I've got Utah. And I just said that Oregon, I felt like probably have a hard time with Utah, as many teams in the Pac-12 are going to. You got Cam Rising. He's back. He's coming off the knee injury. You never know what to expect on that stuff. And this is a guy who would go and run every once in a while. So I don't know how that's going to affect his game, but I really like Cam Rising. I think he's a really good college quarterback, and I look forward to seeing what he can do. Kyle Whittingham, the head coach over there, he's always got a great offensive line. They're always going to be pretty daggum good in the trenches. Seems like it's been that way really since Urban Meyer left. Years ago, they've always had pretty physical lines of scrimmage, and Utah's a pretty decent high school football state. It's kind of sneaky good. You got Miles Phillips coming in to play cornerback. I think that actually helps a lot. Nate Ritchie coming off a 2-year mission. He was a 4-star safety coming out of high school. So this is a guy that they got a couple years ago. We haven't even got to see yet. So I think that they kind of reload a little bit on that defensive secondary where they had lost a couple guys. You got a transfer wide receiver coming from FSU. So I like Utah again. I've got them going 9-3 this year, and I think that there's a chance they could go 10-2. But as I make my way up the list, you'll understand why and who I've got as the top dogs. You can probably already figure that out with deductive reasoning. But I've got a couple more Pac-12 teams up here that I think are gonna be top 10. Number 11, though.